Welcome to the Cognitive Room with Anu. So let me ask you something. Have you ever gone to bed feeling guilty, thinking, I just don't have enough discipline? What if I told you that pretty much everything you've been taught about willpower is, well, wrong? In this explainer, we're going to completely tear down the old, broken ideas about self-control. And then we're going to build up a new, science-backed way to create good habits that actually feel effortless. You ready? Let's get into it.
Yeah, this really hits the nail on the head. It's not just some catchy phrase, it's the absolute truth. We've all been fed this story that discipline is a moral virtue, that it's all about gritting your teeth, white-knuckling it, and just pushing through the pain. But you know what? The actual science tells a completely different story. It's not about being stronger than your brain, it's about being smarter.
Okay, look at this. On the left, this is the story we tell ourselves, right? That discipline is a muscle we have to flex, and if we fail, it's because we're lazy or we just lack willpower. It's exhausting, and it almost always ends in feeling guilty. But now, look at the right. This is the truth. Success isn't about fighting this impossible uphill battle. It's about building a system, like laying down a railroad track that leads you straight to where you want to go. It's about finally working with your brain's programming, not constantly fighting against it.
So to really get this, we have to pop the hood and see what's going on inside our own heads. And here's the first big reveal. Your brain isn't broken. Not at all. In fact, it's working perfectly. The only problem is, it's running on some really old software. Software that was designed for a world that honestly just doesn't exist anymore.
I want you to imagine there are two pilots flying your plane. The first one, that's your prefrontal cortex. It's the sophisticated, modern pilot. It's thinking about your career, your 5-year plan, your health goals. But the co-pilot? The co-pilot is your limbic system. Think of it as a caveman who's been around for millions of years. It doesn't care about your promotion. It only cares about 3 things: finding food, staying safe, and, you guessed it, not wasting a single bit of energy. Now, when there's an argument in the cockpit, who do you think usually wins? Yep, the caveman.
And that caveman has one prime directive. Always follow the path of least resistance. You see, for our ancestors, saving energy wasn't about being lazy. It was literally the key to survival. Every calorie saved was a calorie they could use to hunt or escape a predator. That ancient programming is still running the show in your head today. It's the reason choosing the couch over the gym feels so natural. It's not a flaw in your character. It's a feature of your biology.
Think about it like this. When you find yourself endlessly scrolling through TikTok or Instagram, you're not actually being lazy. Your brain is running a brilliant, high-efficiency survival program. It's getting the maximum amount of reward, that sweet dopamine hit, for the absolute minimum amount of effort. You don't even have to get up. From your brain's ancient evolutionary perspective, it's a genius move, a total win.
So, knowing all this, what's our usual strategy? We try to fight back with pure brute force willpower. We tell ourselves to just try harder. But honestly, that's like trying to hold back the entire ocean with a small beach bucket. It's a strategy that is fundamentally, biologically doomed to fail. Let's break down exactly why. This quote right here is so important. Our modern world is an absolute minefield for our willpower. Your phone is the perfect example. It has been meticulously designed by thousands of engineers to grab your attention and drain your mental energy. So if you start your day by reaching for it, you've already lost the first and most important battle for your own focus. You're starting the race with an empty tank.
And this is the key takeaway. Willpower is not a muscle that gets stronger the more you use it. It's a battery. It starts each day with a full charge, and it drains with every single decision you make. What to wear, what to eat, whether to hit snooze. So trying to rely on willpower for long-term change is like trying to power an entire city with a single AA battery. It's just not going to work. Okay, so if we can't just overpower our brain's ancient programming, what's the plan? Well, we outsmart it. Instead of fighting our own biology, we can actually use it to our advantage. And this is where something called behavioral engineering comes in. It's really just a fancy term for designing your life and your environment to make good habits the easiest possible choice.
And believe it or not, it's as simple as these 3 steps. First, you identify the friction. What are the little things that make good habits hard and bad habits super easy? Second, you add visual cues. You make the things you want to do totally obvious and impossible to ignore. And third, and this is the magic step, you make the right choice the new default choice, the path of least resistance.
Let me show you how this works in the real world. You want to read more? Simple. Put the book you want to read directly on your pillow. Now, to go to sleep, you physically have to pick up your goal. You've removed the friction.
Want to eat less junk food? Don't rely on your tired, decision-fatigued brain at 9 p.m. Put the snacks in a hard-to-reach cabinet, maybe even in the garage. By adding just a little bit of friction, you make that bad habit so much less appealing.
Now, changing your environment? That's a huge game changer. But for real, lasting change, we have to go one level deeper. We need a fundamental mindset shift. We need to stop focusing on what we want to achieve and start focusing on who we want to become. This is all about building systems, not just chasing goals.
This distinction is so critical. Think about it. A goal is a temporary target, right? Like, I want to run a marathon. Okay, great, but what happens the day after the marathon? The motivation's gone. An identity, though, is a permanent way of being. It's a fundamental change in how you see yourself in the world.
Even the words we use make a huge difference. I'm trying to run is a statement of constant struggle. It implies that it's hard and you might fail. But saying I am a runner, that's a statement of identity. It completely removes the need for a daily decision. Of course you're going to run. It's just what you do. That simple change in language can revolutionize your relationship with that habit.
So, how do you build this new identity? It's not magic. You prove it to yourself with evidence. Every single time you take a tiny action, you are casting a vote for the type of person you want to become. Doing 5 push-ups, that's 1 vote for I am a person who stays active. Writing just 1 sentence, that's 1 vote for I am a write it.
And that right there, that is the new definition of discipline. It's not about one giant heroic effort that leaves you exhausted. It's about stringing together a series of small, consistent micro-victories that prove to your brain over and over who you are becoming. Each tiny win literally starts to rewire your brain, strengthening that new identity.
And here is the absolute best part. The moment you truly get this, the moment you realize that your system is more important than your motivation, all of that guilt that you've been carrying around for years, it just vanishes. It was never your fault that you failed. It was your system's fault. You weren't lazy, you were just playing the game on expert mode without even knowing it. Okay, so we've gone through all the science, all the theory. Now it's time to put it into practice. Because, look, understanding this stuff is one thing, but applying it is what actually creates change. So right here, right now, it's time for you to cast your very first vote.
So, are you ready? Come on. Remember, the goal here is not perfection. It's not about doing something huge. The goal is to get a victory so small, so incredibly easy, that it's literally impossible to fail. This is the first push that gets the flywheel of momentum turning.
So here is your challenge. I want you to go down to the comments right now and commit to one ridiculously small 2-minute version of a habit you want to build. Not, I'm going to learn Spanish, but I'll do 1 lesson on Duolingo. Not, I'll go to the gym, but I'll do 5 push-ups right now. Make it so easy you can't say no. And while you're down there, if you're getting value out of this, go ahead and hit that like button and share this with someone who needs to hear it. It really helps the channel.
And as you're typing out that first vote, that first commitment to yourself, if this breakdown was helpful and you want to keep learning how to work with your brain instead of against it, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Here at the Cognitive Room, we do deep dives into the science of our behavior just like this, all the time.
So here's the bottom line. True, sustainable discipline. It's not about forcing yourself into misery. It's about being a clever architect of your own life, designing a world where the things you want to do are the easiest things to do. It's time to stop fighting your brain. It's time to start outsmarting it. Thanks so much for watching.